Ever feel like you're on a treadmill, just constantly striving, but never quite feeling like you're good enough? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into Dr. Brené Brown's incredible book, The Gifts of Imperfection, which is basically a powerful antidote to that exact feeling. The whole book really kicks off with this one central, powerful idea. It suggests that true bravery isn't some big, flashy, heroic act. Nope, it's something much more personal, and maybe even harder. The quiet courage to just own your own story. All of it, imperfections included. So who's our guide on this journey? Dr. Brené Brown. And she's not just a professor. She spent over a decade as a researcher collecting thousands and thousands of personal stories. She actually calls herself a story catcher, which is just perfect. But here's the thing. Her research took a turn she never ever saw coming. It actually led her right into a personal crisis, a total breakdown that she now calls her spiritual awakening. It was an unraveling that changed absolutely everything for her. See, while she was digging through all this data on shame and what makes us feel not good enough, she stumbled upon something she wasn't even looking for. A small but distinct group of people who just stood out. They were different. And she realized they were living and loving with their whole hearts. And this is where it gets really juicy. She started mapping out what made these wholehearted people tick. She ended up with 2 lists. On one side, the do column. You have all the things these people practiced, stuff like worthiness, rest, play, authenticity. But then, on the other side, the don't column was a list of everything they avoided, like perfectionism, numbing out, and wearing exhaustion like a badge of honor. And here is the absolute gut punch. She looked at these 2 lists, and it hit her like a ton of bricks. Her own life, working super hard, playing by the rules, always trying to be perfect, it was a carbon copy of the don't list, a list she very bluntly called the shit list. So, that personal crisis, that moment of shocking self-awareness, it launched her on a whole new quest, a journey to figure out what it really means to live a wholehearted life, and then to actually try and live it. And what she found is that wholehearted living isn't some finish line you cross. It's a practice, a process, a journey, and it's all grounded in one core foundational belief. I am enough. Not I'll be enough when or I'll be enough if. Just I am enough, right here, right now. Okay, so how do you actually do this? How do you walk this path? Brown found that the journey requires 3 essential tools. And these aren't just big, abstract ideas. They're very real, very concrete things you can practice every day. The first tool is courage. And what's so cool is that the word's origin, from the Latin cor, literally means heart. So to have courage originally meant to speak your mind by telling all of your heart. It's about being honest and open about who you are, and yeah, that means putting your vulnerability on the line. Second up is compassion, which literally means to suffer with. And that's the key, right? It's not about trying to fix people or feeling sorry for them from up on high. It's about connecting with them as an equal, recognizing that we're all in this messy human thing together, and just being present with them in their struggle. And the third tool is connection. You can think of this as the energy, that spark that happens between people when they feel truly seen, heard, and valued for who they are. It's a core human need. It's literally wired into our biology. So if we have these amazing tools, courage, compassion, connection, why is this journey so darn hard? Why doesn't everyone just live this way? Well, Brené's research also points to the major roadblocks that get in all of our way. She has this incredible metaphor for it. She calls the biggest barrier the swampland of the soul. It's a messy, murky place we all have to go sometimes. The key is learning how to wade through it, not set up camp and live there. So what's lurking in this swamp? What's at the very bottom of it all? It's shame. That intensely painful, universal feeling that there's something wrong with us, that we're flawed, and because of that flaw, we're not worthy of love and belonging. And this slide right here, this is one of the most important takeaways from the whole book. Brown makes it crystal clear that shame is not the same as guilt. Guilt is about behavior. It says, I did something bad. And you know what? That can be productive. It can motivate us to change. But shame is different. Shame attacks our identity. It's that voice in your head that says, I am bad. And that just eats away at the very part of us that believes we can be better. So how do we find our way through that swampland? How do we practice? Well, Brown offers 10 guideposts. And again, these aren't rules, they're practices for the journey. And let's be really clear. These aren't a checklist you can just tick off and be done with. This is life work. It's soul work. It's about consciously and continuously choosing to cultivate a more authentic and courageous life. Now, we can't get into all 10 right now, but you can totally see the pattern here, right? Each guidepost is a two-part deal. It's always about cultivating something positive, like authenticity, by actively letting go of whatever's holding you back, like worrying what other people think. You cultivate self-compassion by letting go of perfectionism. See? It's a complete shift in where you put your energy. So ultimately, this whole thing, it's more than just a self-help book. Brown frames it as an invitation to join what she calls a quiet revolution. And this really is the final, powerful point. Think about it. We live in a world that pretty much profits from our self-doubt, from us feeling like we're not smart enough, rich enough, thin enough, whatever. So in a world like that, choosing to believe that you are enough right now as you are, that's not just a nice thought. That's a radical act of resistance. And this revolution, it doesn't start with a big protest. It starts inside. It begins with each one of us finding the courage to look our own story in the eye and say, my story matters because I matter. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. What's the real risk here? Letting go of what other people might think of you, or letting go of how you feel, what you believe, and who you actually truly are?